some of the many things that people most of the time will probably not see is how many details I put into all of my pieces. For example, first thing is these little patches. You might recognize the color, but it is Patchwork's colors. And it's one of the ways that Cade shows his affection to his other companions, or to people he enjoys being around, same as with the scarf, which is a reference to Rant. Though it's not as clear of a reference because it wasn't intentionally meant to be a reference, I did make it into a reference of him wearing the scarf and his old clothes that he wore when he was around Rant. Another thing you can see is also the blood coming out from under him is always coming out from him before it starts going to everything else. And that was intentional. And these up here, you can see the trees as well probably, but that's just like random more small details. You can see on his ears, it doesn't show it here, but usually he has eyes on his ears, and this is intentional. In his original Anthro design, and a part of his species is that they will have eyes on their ears and on the back of their legs, so like there, something like that. I didn't comment on this because at this point it wasn't the most important part of the piece, but you'll probably see it in another piece that I've done, where here you'll see the little eyes. Here you will see the eyes on the back of his legs. You will see his legs are like that. You will see little arms that hold him up. The arms are also meant to symbolize his other ability, which is more so being capable of forming arms and other things that he can use to fight for him, like this thing right here. And it's something I referenced in a lot of pieces, but I really made a main focus in this one because I thought it would be really cool to actually show it off in sets. And you can tell his main colors are like red and blue, but he also here has the patchwork colors in, because they are a reference to Patchwork, who at this point was alive, but he wasn't around as much with Cade. And this is actually, this shirt, which is another fun fact, is actually very important. Not because I'm an upgraded fuck, but I am still an upgraded fuck, but because this is the shirt he wore, this is the clothes he wore when he lived with Rem. The first piece of clothing he owned ever. And it's the reason why it's been around for so long, because it's supposed to symbolize his connection to Rem and him not wanting to leave that important piece of fabric behind, because it means so much to him. Because Rem isn't alive anymore, canonically, he has nothing else he can really give. In this icon here, I wanted to focus on his more anther form, and that included giving him small little cute fur. He has a lot more fur on his neck, and he doesn't look happy because this is about his law, where in the void, in the space where he lives, it's, not that cold or warm. The space is very much made for their advantage, being completely dark. So, Cade isn't very fond of things being too cold. And it is shown again with this, which links back to a cat video I saw where there was this type of cat, I don't remember what it's called, that lives in very cold climate, to the point where it uses its tail to warm itself by sitting on the tail. And it is something that I reference mostly in this, but I've also spoken about in other times, because it's just really cute, and I think it's very cute. And again, we have his irises being red, because his actual eyes are red. We also have in the redesign of him, which this is just very, very bad. It's just sketchy stuff. You can see that Miss Mida will always be there in the background. And now with this new design where he will be wearing this big ass one piece. He has the scarf on his arm because it's so important piece of him. And that leads me on to this. You might not see it in every piece, and I don't put it in every piece, but this is something I've spoken about on stream before. It is 2 small snips in his ears and a ring. This ring is the wedding ring when he and Rem became married. Now, they didn't have a typical wedding. They did it in private because Rem's family is no longer alive and they didn't have this. So they gave each other rings and they just kept those rings till the day they kind of like separated, you know. And Kate still has this jewelry with him because it is an important part of his life, even if it's not spoken about at all. And forgetting this sketches are so bad. Look at him! What is he doing? But it'll be the updated version of him when he starts wearing the other things. He will still be wearing the scarf, and beneath it will be the same little shirt that he's always worn. But of course, he's not stinky. I will add that. I just have that remember him. He is not stinky. He does wash it, but he will always wear because it's very important to him, and it's a very important piece of his lore and backstory, and important to him canonically. I forgot, this piece is very intricate with lore. This is probably one of the pieces where I worked in the most lore. The void here is spread up to the point where it no longer is a tail. This is still his tail. It has the exact same formation as his tail. But now, it's become unsolid, more fluid-like, because it's more part of his ability. He even has eyes, mini eyes like that are more present when he is, I'd say, feeling endangered. It's not a form I use a lot, but it is one I'm very proud of. It is when he feels like he's in danger and needs to be alert. Or the eyes function in different sizes, they can look around wherever they want to, he has full control over everything. And he also has his little hands that are holding onto him, ready to latch out. And the most important piece is, okay, there's 2 important pieces here, oh my god. First important piece, this. It is a reference to where his heart would be. To give a little bit of the eye, which proves, yeah, again, he's not human, he's not alive in any sense. It's a callback to him not having an actual heart, it being made of the void with the eye that symbolizes the void. And the most common symbol for the void that I use. But we also have his hand. Now this is a rule that I've always thought of when it comes to building around Kid. It's that he doesn't show his hands unless he needs to use them. Most of the time, he will, you know, when he's tiny and stuff, you know, he will use his hands and everything, or he will use like pop-up hands, be fun and stuff like that. But the reason why it's so important that he shows his hands now is because he is in a dangerous space. He's in a space where he will lash out and he's immensely strong, which you can see with all of this. All of this can pull that in seconds, and he can make all of that go into further spaces, which is shown in an alternative universe piece where he just consumed the entirety of the Earth and ended thousands of lives. And all of this happened in what I believe was a span of 7 minutes, which is canonically called the day, what was it called? I can't remember what I called it. It's like something fancy. But he's capable of doing this in barely 7 days. He could consume Earth if he wanted to, and still remain in his original form. He is very powerful, but he is also very empathetic in the sense that to the people who he cares about. Everyone else, he lacks the basic, what you'd think of human empathy for. But with people he cares about, he will have more empathy for them. And you can also see that with him really, he even cries at blood. His blood or like tears and stuff. You can see here. That's tears. He's crying. He is in misery. And his tears are black because it's the boiling inside him coming out and leaking out, and it is very sad. It made me sad to make this piece, but I thought it was very important to show the capabilities of Kate, and I've been very afraid of showing that. But in the later pieces, I've also begun showing that more of how powerful he could be, and especially his connections with food. And this is something that I've not really spoken about, but I could talk about in length. It wasn't something that I actually intentionally meant for to happen, but Kid has often been associated with the sin of gluttony because he was cursed when he came to Earth with never being able to be satisfied, never having the satisfaction of after you've eaten you feel full, never having that. So after Ram, he began seeking out anything to kind of lock down and like push down all his feelings because he was overwhelmed and sad and depressed. So he began eating and eating and eating, and nothing was enough, and he just kept on eating until he had a fight with him. And he still portrays this in several art pieces where, if given the opportunity, he will eat anything near him, especially if it's in situations where he has a lot of emotions present, as it's become sort of a habit of his to, rather than confront the feelings and actually talk through the feelings, he will kind of binge eat till he can no longer think of the feelings and just let himself be consumed by the desire to eat to outweigh the bad feelings. And it has been explored in several pieces before, but I did love bringing it back because it shows how powerful he actually is at his capacity. But yeah, if you enjoyed this and want to see me do this for other art pieces, let me know. You get to see a backlog of all of my art here. If you actually enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe, comment down below what you think is the coolest thing, and yeah, good night.